Doesn't your brain go full lizard mode whenever those huge KO numbers appear on screen? It's so spicy. Of all the Dynasty Warriors titles I've played, Origins is easily the most satisfying entry in the series, hands down. With brand new systems, mechanics, and graphics that don't look like a PS3 knockoff, this reboot is ready to kick some much needed backside. Just like its predecessors, Dynasty Warriors Origins is all about taking down enemy officers and covering the battlefield with big, stuff-you attacks in the most anime of ways possible. You'll have a ripper of a day sweeping across the map with some banging electronic guitar tracks as you plan out who to attack while horsebacking it to defend key points or teammates that might need assistance. You see, tactics are very important and well balanced in this game, as a mindless charge into enemy territory will usually only get you so far. Often a one-way trip to the game over screen. Thankfully, the game clearly conveys vital information before story battles start, while you're actively fighting and through a detailed zoomed out view that also lets your super special awesome pro tag see things that others can't. Concealed objects like hidden doors and magical items encourage players to carefully assess the situation for an advantage, accompanied by your daily dose of hacking and slashing dudes to death. To supplement this, the ability to command your own troops means that you can strategically destroy military devices, guard an area while a door's being rammed, or send forth an angry mob of soldiers to help break an enemy, leaving them wide open for some serious spanking. As the tides shift in your favor by winning 1v1 duels, killing enemies, and joining in on ambushes and charges, the morale and confidence of your allies will grow. On the flip side, the same also applies to your opponents. This makes them much more aggressive and tougher to take down, especially if they pull off what the game calls grand tactics. Essentially, all hell breaks loose, and you gotta go full Super Saiyan to stop a devastating assault from happening. A few of these segments are absolutely bonkers and will have you busting out all your fancy schmancy moves to bite back, particularly ones that have invincibility frames, as the number of soldiers on screen might start to fry your old brain box. If anything, I'm honestly surprised that the PS5 can keep up with all this stuff happening. As I'm sure you can tell, Origins has one of the most stable frame rates I've seen in a long time. Now, I don't have a PS5 Pro because... oh no! But my peasant slim digital console was consistently hitting 60 FPS on both the graphics and performance modes, with only barely noticeable drops when the larger scale battles began popping off. Impressive stuff here, I must say. But on the other hand, where's the multiplayer at? Making a Dynasty Warriors game without two-player co-op is like Jack being without Daxter. It's just not the same, man. What's more, there's only one character you control throughout the entire campaign, whereas the famous Three Kingdoms warriors are relegated to very brief tag-alongs that you can swap out for only a minute or so, once or twice per battle, and that's on average. Don't expect a massive lineup of guest characters either. Sure, you can talk to them around the overworld map as you buy your new gear and take on smaller side battles to earn skill points, money, and other goodies. However, a good amount of them aren't directly controllable, which is a real shame. The story, as you'd expect from a Dynasty Warriors game, isn't particularly exciting either. It's just a lot of prattling about achieving peace and battle tactics, as well as, wow, isn't the main character so strong? They're really strong, eh? He's so mysterious. While the silent protag can wield 10 unique weapons and does have a pretty slick design, during cutscenes it almost looks like he's watching paint dry. A pretty accurate depiction of my face as I watched. While the English voice acting is half decent, the lack of lip syncing is very awkward here, especially since the graphics are of such a high quality. Also, for some strange reason, the cast can't quite figure out how to say this guy's name properly. Can you?
Cao Cao.
Cao Cao.
Cao Cao.
Cao Cao. Cao Cao.
Cao Cao.
Cao Cao.
At the end of the day, Dynasty Warriors Origins is a mighty satisfying reboot that improves upon almost every aspect of its predecessors. Remixing its highly addictive Musou gameplay with an increased focus on strategy has resulted in the best game in the series to date. Commanding your own set of troops, then charging into a battle with 1,000 other soldiers is a sight to behold. There's just so much cool stuff going on, and it runs so silky smooth, sitting around 60 FPS on a regular PS5. Even though the storyline is rather forgettable, and the lack of any multiplayer functionality feels like a sin, this new formula of the series has been a triumphant return.